Hockey is already chaos on blades, but the rulebook somehow makes it even stranger. At first, the NHL looks simple. Put the puck in the net, stop the other team from doing the same. Hit hard, skate fast, survive the shift, repeat. That is the version most people see from the couch. But the deeper you go, the more the game starts to feel like a machine held together by strange little warnings. Because hockey is not just fast, it is creative. Players do not only play against defenders, they play against space, time, referees, camera angles, blue lines, broken sticks, loose gloves, tired goalies, and every tiny loophole hiding inside the rulebook. That is why some NHL rules sound fake the first time you hear them. A player can be punished for using the wrong kind of broken stick. A goalie can be trapped by a painted shape behind his own net. A goal can count even when nobody actually shoots the puck into the empty net. A team can celebrate, hug, hear the crowd explode, and still lose the goal because a coach with a tablet saw one skate blade in the wrong place. It sounds ridiculous, but every weird rule has a reason. Usually, that reason is simple. Somebody found a way to bend the game until the league had to stop them. So this is not just a list of strange NHL rules. This is a tour through the hidden logic of hockey. The part where the sport stops looking like chaos and starts looking like controlled madness. And once you see these rules, you will never watch a normal shift the same way again. Now start with the broken stick rule, because this one feels unfair until you imagine the alternative. In the NHL, when a player breaks his stick, he cannot just keep playing with it like nothing happened. He has to drop it immediately, not later, not after one more poke check, not after blocking one more passing lane with the broken piece in his hands. Immediately. And from the outside, that sounds almost petty. The player did not choose to break it. Maybe the stick snapped during a shot. Maybe it exploded in a battle along the boards. Maybe he is defending a rush and suddenly the most important tool in his hands becomes useless. So why punish him for trying to survive the play? Because a broken hockey stick is not just bad equipment. It can become a weapon. A normal stick is designed to flex, shoot, pass, and absorb contact. A broken stick can have a sharp edge, an unstable shaft, or a jagged blade. At NHL speed, that is not a harmless piece of carbon fiber. That is something flying near hands, faces, skates, and tendons. So the rule is brutally simple. If it breaks, get rid of it. But that creates one of the strangest sights in hockey. A player without a stick is still in the game, but he suddenly looks like he entered the wrong sport. He can skate, he can block a shot, he can take away space with his body, he can try to kick the puck away from danger. But he cannot pass, shoot, poke check normally, or control the play like everyone else. And the best part is that nobody stops the game for him. The NHL does not care that his stick betrayed him. The puck keeps moving. The other team keeps attacking. His teammates are still trapped in the same ship. For a few seconds, he becomes a human traffic cone with elite cardio and survival instincts. That is why the broken stick rule sounds weird, but it makes perfect sense. Hockey is dangerous enough when the equipment works properly. The league is not going to let players swing broken pieces around just because the play is still alive. Now here is where the broken stick rule gets even stranger, because dropping the broken stick is only the first problem. The next problem is getting a new one. In a normal sport, this would feel easy. Something breaks, someone hands you a replacement, and the game moves on. But in the NHL, even that has rules. A player cannot just magically receive a stick from anywhere on the ice like it is a video game power-up. He needs to get it from a legal source. Usually that means from his bench or from a teammate, and even then the details matter. That is why you sometimes see a small emergency mission happen during a shift. A stick breaks, the player drops it, and suddenly everyone has to solve a tiny crisis without stopping the game. If he is near the bench, he may race over and grab a replacement. If he is far away, he might be stuck defending without one. If his teammate gives him a stick, now that teammate is the one without a stick. One problem moves from one player to another, like the hockey version of passing a curse. And when it happens to a goalie, the whole scene becomes even more absurd. A goalie without a stick is not helpless, but he is definitely not comfortable. The stick helps control rebounds, block passing lanes, poke pucks away, and cover low angles. Without it, the goalie still has pads, glove, blocker, mask, instincts, and panic. But something feels wrong. The net suddenly looks bigger. Every pass through the slot feels more dangerous. Every loose puck near the crease becomes a tiny disaster waiting to happen. So a defenseman may try to help. He may slide the goalie stick back. He may hand over his own stick. He may do anything that looks like common sense in the moment. But the rulebook still has boundaries because the league does not want random equipment exchanges turning the ice into a repair shop during live play. That is what makes this rule so perfect for hockey. It is not enough to know how to skate, shoot, hit, and defend. Sometimes you also need to know the legal way to deliver a stick to a desperate goalie while 5 grown men are fighting for a puck in front of the net. It sounds ridiculous, but in the NHL, even helping your own teammate has to be done correctly. Now move to the rule that makes hockey look like it is secretly afraid of becoming volleyball. The puck can touch a player's hand. That part is not automatically illegal. Players knock pucks down with their gloves all the time. A shot gets deflected into the air, a pass pops up, a puck bounces awkwardly off the boards, and someone uses a glove to bring it back down. That is normal. That is survival. But the moment a player starts using his hand like a passing tool, the rulebook wakes up. In simple terms, you cannot just throw or direct the puck with your hand to create an advantage for your team in most areas of the ice. The game is played with sticks, skates, bodies, and chaos, not with clean little hand passes like basketball on frozen water. And this is where the rule feels strange, because sometimes a hand play is allowed, and sometimes the whistle comes immediately. In the defensive zone, there is more tolerance. If a player knocks the puck to a teammate while trying to survive pressure near his own net, the game may continue. But outside that zone, especially when it helps create offense, the same motion can kill the play. That difference is what confuses people. The referee is not just asking, did the puck touch a glove? He is asking where it happened, who touched it next, whether it helped the same team, and whether the player directed it on purpose. All of that can unfold in less than a second. So from the crowd, it can look insane. A player bats the puck down, his teammate touches it, the whistle blows, and half the arena has no idea why. Then 10 minutes later, another player seems to do something similar near his own net, and the play keeps going. But the logic is there. The NHL wants players to react naturally when the puck is flying at them. But it does not want teams replacing stick skill with hand deliveries. Otherwise, every scramble could turn into a weird mix of hockey, volleyball, and panic. That is why the hand pass rule exists. It protects the identity of the game. You can use your hand to survive the puck. You cannot use it to redesign hockey. Now take one of the harshest rules in the sport because it punishes a player for doing something that looks completely natural. Clearing the puck. A defenseman is trapped in his own zone. His team is tired. The forwards cannot change. The goalie is fighting through traffic. The other team keeps cycling, shooting, recovering, and cycling again. Everyone in the building can feel the pressure growing. So the defenseman finally gets the puck on his stick and does the obvious thing. He fires it high and hard out of danger. For 1 second, it looks like relief. Then the puck sails over the glass. Whistle, penalty. And if you are new to hockey, that feels brutal. The player did not slash anyone. He did not cross-check anyone in the teeth. He did not run the goalie. He just panicked and threw the puck out of play. But that is exactly the point. If the NHL allowed players to shoot the puck into the crowd every time they were under pressure, defensive hockey would become unbearable. Any team protecting a lead could turn danger into a free pause. Every long shift could end with a deliberate reset. Every exhausted defender could escape the forecheck by launching the puck into the seats and pretending it was just bad luck. So the league made the punishment clear. If a defending player shoots the puck directly over the glass from his own zone without a deflection, his team can be sent to the penalty kill. That is why this rule feels so severe. It is not punishing violence, it is punishing escape. And that makes it one of the most dramatic whistles in the NHL. The defending team is already tired. The crowd already feels the danger. Then one desperate clearance misses the glass by inches, and suddenly the pressure gets worse. Now the same exhausted team has to survive shorthanded. It is a tiny mistake with huge consequences. That is what makes hockey cruel. Sometimes the most expensive play is not a dirty hit, a lazy hook, or a stupid retaliation. Sometimes it is one puck, one bad angle, and one defender who just wanted the nightmare to stop. Now, let the goalie enter the rulebook, because no position in hockey looks more powerful and less free at the same time. The goalie seems like the one player who should be allowed to do almost anything. He is standing in front of frozen rubber flying at dangerous speed. He wears the biggest equipment. He guards the most important area. He is the last piece of the entire defense. So when he covers the puck, most people assume the play is simply over. But not every freeze is treated the same. A goalie can cover the puck when there is pressure, danger, or a real reason to stop play. That makes sense. If attackers are crashing the crease and the puck is loose under pads, the whistle protects everyone from turning the crease into a wrestling match. But the goalie cannot just use the puck like a pause button whenever life gets uncomfortable. If there is no pressure and he deliberately covers the puck to stop the game, that can become delay of game. If he leaves the crease and smothers the puck in certain areas without a real threat, that can also create a problem. It sounds strange because the goalie is literally doing the thing fans associate with goalies. He is stopping the puck. He is freezing it. He is calming the game. But the rulebook sees the difference between survival and stalling. Without that line, goalies could destroy the rhythm of hockey. A team under pressure could dump the puck near its goalie, let him cover it, reset the face-off, change tired players, and breathe. Again and again. Instead of flow, the game would turn into a series of controlled interruptions. So, the NHL lets goalies protect themselves and control danger, but it does not let them turn every uncomfortable moment into a whistle. That is the strange balance of the position. The goalie can rob a superstar, erase a perfect pass, survive chaos in the crease, and make the arena scream. But even he cannot just decide when hockey stops. Now look behind the net, because one of the strangest NHL rules is literally painted onto the ice. The trapezoid. For a new viewer, it looks like decoration. 2 angled lines behind the goal, sitting there like somebody added geometry homework to a hockey rink. The puck goes into the corner, the goalie skates out, the crowd gets loud, and suddenly the broadcast talks about whether he is allowed to play it there. Allowed? Behind his own net? Yes. The goalie is not free to handle the puck anywhere behind the goal line. There is a marked area behind the net where he can play it, and areas outside that shape where he cannot. If he handles the puck in the wrong place, his team can be punished. That sounds ridiculous until you understand why it exists. A great puck-handling goalie can break the forecheck before it even starts. The attacking team dumps the puck in, sends forwards flying after it, and expects a battle along the boards. But if the goalie skates out, stops the puck, and moves it cleanly to a defenseman, the pressure dies instantly. The forecheck never gets teeth. The dump in becomes a gift. So the trapezoid limits that power. It forces goalies to think before they leave the crease. It gives forecheckers a real chance to chase dumped pucks. It turns the space behind the net into a tactical trap instead of a free escape route. And visually, it is perfect. A goalie can see the puck. He can reach the puck. He may even be the best player available to move the puck. But the painted lines say no. That is peak NHL weirdness. The most protected player on the ice can be stopped by a shape. Now take the rule that sounds like it belongs in a broken video game. A goal can be awarded even if the puck never actually crosses the goal line. That sounds impossible because hockey is built around one simple image. The puck goes into the net. The light comes on. The crowd reacts. The scoreboard changes. But in the NHL, there are rare moments where the referee can give a team a goal without the normal finish. The clearest version happens with an empty net. Imagine the goalie has been pulled. One team is chasing the game. The net is wide open. A player steals the puck and breaks away with nothing but empty ice ahead of him. No goalie, no real defender, no mystery, just one obvious path to a goal. Then an opponent hooks him, trips him, grabs him, throws a stick, or illegally takes away the chance before he can shoot. In a normal breakaway with a goalie in net, that might become a penalty shot. But with the net empty, a penalty shot would be strange. There is no goalie to beat. The scoring chance was already almost certain. So the league can award the goal, and that is where the rule feels unreal. The puck does not have to slide into the cage. The player does not have to celebrate a shot. The goalie does not have to fail. The referee can simply decide that the illegal play stole a goal that was essentially there. It is one of the rare rules where the NHL says, we know what was about to happen. And honestly, it makes sense. Otherwise, defending teams could cheat in the final seconds and accept a smaller punishment to erase a guaranteed empty netter. The rule prevents desperation from becoming a loophole. Still, it will never stop sounding strange. Somewhere in the official record, a goal can exist because the rulebook finished the play for the player. Now slow the game down to the smallest possible detail because offside in the NHL can make a full-speed sport depend on a blade of steel. Most fans understand the basic idea. The attacking player cannot enter the offensive zone before the puck. The blue line is the border. Cross too early and the play should be offside. Simple. At least it sounds simple. Then you watch a real review and suddenly everyone is staring at a frozen frame like it is a crime scene. One skate is in the air. One skate is near the blue line. The puck is half on the stick. The player might have control, or maybe he only touched it. The broadcast zooms in until the ice looks like a blurry map, and the entire goal depends on a tiny detail that nobody noticed live. That is where the rule gets weird. Offside is not just about where the player's body is. It can come down to the skate, the blue line, and the exact moment the puck enters the zone. A player can look offside from one angle and legal from another. A skate blade touching the line can matter more than the player's shoulder, chest, or head. The rule is not judging the whole athlete like a shadow. It is judging specific contact with the ice and the puck's relationship to the line. And that creates one of the strangest feelings in modern hockey. A beautiful passing play can happen. A shot can beat the goalie clean. The arena can explode. The players can celebrate like the game just changed. Then the replay room goes hunting for a skate. Not a slash. Not goalie interference. Not a punch behind the play. A skate. That is why offside reviews can feel so brutal. They do not punish something dramatic. They punish timing at the edge of human perception. The player may not gain any obvious advantage. The play may look perfectly normal. But if the entry is illegal by the rulebook, the goal can disappear. It is strange, but it protects the structure of the sport. Without the blue line, attacking teams could cheat space. They could hang behind defenders, stretch the ice unfairly, and turn every rush into a broken race. The line keeps the attack honest. Still, the modern version can feel almost too precise. Hockey is chaos at full speed, but sometimes the final answer is hiding in one thin blade on one painted line. Now take the strangest part of modern NHL emotion. A goal is no longer fully safe when it happens. The puck goes in, the light flashes, the horn hits, the scorer raises his arms, the bench explodes. The crowd is already reacting before the replay even begins. In the old version of hockey, that felt final. A goal was a goal. You could argue, complain, point at the referee, and shake your head, but the moment mostly belonged to the team that scored. Now, sometimes, the celebration has a shadow. The coach looks down at the tablet. That tiny screen can become more dangerous than a slap shot, because a team can challenge a goal for specific reasons. Maybe the attacking team was offside before the goal. Maybe there was goalie interference. Maybe the play should have been stopped before the puck went in. The coach is not just guessing. His staff is watching angles, calling down from above, and trying to decide whether the goal has a hidden flaw. And if they challenge correctly, the goal can vanish. That is the wild part. A perfect shot can stop being a perfect shot because of something that happened earlier in the play. The scorer may have done everything right. The goalie may have been beaten clean. The crowd may have already lived the emotional moment. But if the entry was offside or the goalie was illegally interfered with, the scoreboard can rewind reality. But the coach cannot challenge for free. If the challenge fails, the team is punished. That is what keeps every coach from challenging every painful goal out of pure frustration. The rulebook basically says, you may question reality, but you have to pay if you are wrong. And that creates a beautiful kind of tension. The arena waits. The players stare up at the screen. Fans who were screaming 30 seconds earlier are suddenly silent. The referee skates to center ice. Everyone reads his body language, and one sentence can either restore the goal or erase it from existence. No other moment proves how strange NHL rules can be quite like that. Even after the puck goes in, the game is not done asking questions. Now bring all of it together, because the weirdest thing about these NHL rules is that they are not random at all. They sound random. A broken stick has to be dropped immediately. A player cannot just receive equipment like a gift from the hockey gods. A glove can save a bouncing puck, but it cannot become a passing weapon. A defender can get punished for clearing the puck too cleanly over the glass. A goalie can freeze the game, but not whenever he wants. A painted shape behind the net can tell him where he is allowed to touch the puck. A goal can be awarded without the puck entering the net. A celebration can be erased because of one skate near one blue line. Individually, these rules sound like mistakes. Together, they reveal what the NHL really is. It is not just speed. It is not just violence. It is not just skill. It is a constant battle between chaos and control. Players are always searching for the smallest advantage. A tired defender wants one free escape. A goalie wants one extra pause. A coach wants one frame of video that changes the game. A forward wants 1 inch of space before the puck crosses the line. Every team is looking for the tiny edge that turns pressure into survival or survival into a goal. And the rulebook exists because hockey players are too smart to leave the game simple. That is why the strangest NHL rules usually have the most practical explanations. They are scars. They are reactions. They are the league saying, somebody tried this, somebody abused that, somebody found a loophole, and now the rule has to be written. So the next time a referee blows the whistle and the call sounds ridiculous, do not assume the rulebook is broken. Assume there is a story behind it. Because in hockey, even the weirdest rule usually exists for one reason. At some point, the game found a way to become even weirder.